Hello Pisces, welcome to Astrology TV. Thank you for joining us. Here's your weekly horoscope for January 17 to 23. Well, there's a lot of things going on in Aquarius, and what that means is these planets in Aquarius end up in your solar 12th house, so kind of behind the scenes or hidden, so to speak. I hope that with all of these planets in the 12th house for Pisces, it doesn't mean that you need to spend any time at a hospital, because the 12th house does rule that, and given that there's a pandemic on, it is a little bit scary. Aside from that, I'm not seeing necessarily any ill health for you. Of course, you can't visit people in the hospital these days. Most people are restricted from that. But if you are working in a hospital environment as well, Pisces, things are just kind of overwhelming this week. Maybe it's time you get a day off. Now, with the sun moving out of Capricorn early this week and then moving into Aquarius, what that will do is, well, it gives you a couple days in the beginning of the week to review your hopes and wishes for the weeks or months ahead and to fine-tune any of your plans, perhaps. Once the sun moves into Aquarius, like I say, it's in a more shadowy part of your horoscope and might be spotlighting more for you this week if you get into some closets or your basement or attic or these deep dark corners of your home. You need to explore some of the shadow sides of your home perhaps, and who knows, maybe you'll find that whatever you lost months ago. But the Aquarius planets this week are encouraging Pisces to go into your shadow side, perhaps to dig deep into yourself and take a good look on, well, anything that you might be able to do to just make your life better. With Mercury there, it's a good time to have a conversation with yourself, to write some things down, pros and cons about anything you're looking at, and perhaps making decisions based on a more analytical approach in that way. With Venus in Capricorn, for Pisces, that still puts Venus in a nice place for you. It tends to have you being more in a sociable frame of mind, perhaps being able to reach out more within your community. Again, with these restrictions we have, it could be that you're doing this online. But if you are not a person who has normally embraced the new technology, perhaps this is the week that you do, because it's necessary these days to stay in touch with people. With Mars in Taurus and conjunct Uranus all week and part of last week, and then Mars was square Saturn most of last week as well, most of you Pisces were probably wise and kept your profile very low. And while the fixed signs were dealing with a lot of stress, especially last week, the whole world is dealing with stress technically, but these aspects, these squares, they do challenge us, and they challenge our status quo at times. So last week was probably more rough than this week. Hopefully that's true for you, Pisces. But this week we're not out of the woods, because that Mars is still conjunct Uranus and almost anything could happen. Given the news coming out of the USA, they are expecting some more troubles there midweek. Hopefully not. Hopefully their politics will calm down and they can make a smoother transition over to their new leadership. The Uranus conjunction of Mars in Taurus, as I said, for Pisces, not too bad for you. It does put that in an area of travel for you. So if you had travel plans, they're likely canceled this week. If you are looking to travel, I wouldn't do it this week if you can help it. However, looking at perhaps planning a future trip is okay. In fact, with Mars-Uranus conjunct in your solar third house, Pisces, it's probably best if you stay home most of this week. This is not the time for you to be out and about in the neighborhood, and at least in our province here of Ontario, Canada, we're told to stay home, and that's probably what you should do this week as well. With Chiron moving direct in Aries, that brings a little bit of healing to the area of finances. You may have had to spend a lot of money on some food and clothing and such lately, but at least your finances should be a little bit better off, especially towards the end of this week coming up. With Venus in Capricorn, again, Pisces, you should be able to have an enjoyable week. Do try to keep a low profile, avoid confrontations, conflicts, and avoid even going out in public, especially midweek when things might be a little bit crazy, in particular if you live in a very large metropolitan area. And if it's in the USA where they may be expecting violence, I recommend that you stay home midweek. Have a great week ahead, Pisces.